Hey guys, today we're gonna learn how to make quick and simple cloth inside Blender with no third-party add-ons. Let's go. So for starters, you're gonna want to add a simple plane, rotate it along the x-axis, align it with your character so you can start with the actual extruding inside edit mode. Add in your mirror modifier and your mirror objects as your character. Then you can start actually extruding the base shape of the dress. I'll be speeding up the video a bit, but I'll be explaining it along the way. Also, to make cloth modeling easier, you want to build it based on your subjects or your character. It's easier to just build it based on your character's body shape. You model the clothing as close as possible to the body. Close enough but not intersecting. It can intersect in some areas, but you're gonna want to avoid that most of the time because it has issues when it comes to simulation. So I'm just closing out the faces. You can also try to use your snapping tools, project to face, find what is best to you. With this one I tried it a bit, but then I just scrapped it and just went back to the regular modeling. It became very tedious with clipping and it was very confusing because some vertices were hiding inside. So this is based on your workflow. Basically what's important is that you get the shape of the clothing close to your character's body. That way you'll have better results. So here I'm just highlighting the boundaries with one vertices, extrude one vertice, highlight all the boundaries, then you just close up the loops with F to make your cloth modeling much faster. Just hit F all the way, it closes up your loop nicely, but you have to do the modeling up front, the simple outlining of the shape of the clothing. Then you just fill it in with F just to minimize, just a quick tip to minimize your cloth modeling. I buff it out with sculpting. I sculpted inflate brush, grab brush just to make it fit better. Then I extend the clothing a bit just to make it closer to the character's body shape. I find it brings the best results. So once you're happy with how your cloth looks, it's time to refine it. So basically I'm gonna have a collision on the body so we can actually start simulating. As you can see, the cloth is a bit too much, it's expanding a bit too much, and it looks like there's a lack of friction on my actual collision body. So it's basically a matter of tweaking a bit of settings, edit the collision quality, edit some of the collision friction. Basically it's based on your project specifications, so it's best to just play around with the values, tweak around with them, see what works. Also adding some detail on the subdivision modifier to better define the cloth. So as you can see, it's starting to look a bit better now. Just needs a bit more tweaking. I like those wrinkles I have on the actual dress. It's basically up to how you want the final look to be. I think I'm happy with this. So there you have it, clothing made fully in Blender with no third-party add-ons. Of course, there are different ways to make clothing in Blender with and without add-ons, but this is just the way I like to use, because I like to keep everything in Blender so I have a smooth workflow. But sometimes I do use third-party plugins. It mainly just depends on the type of situation you're facing and how much time you have on your hands. So this is for the Blender purists, the Blender natives that like to keep everything in Blender, so you don't have to switch around between programs and keep everything in one place. If you found this video helpful, you can drop a like and a subscribe. I'll be adding more in-depth tutorials on this channel, so stay tuned for more.